Hello! How is everyone this fine evening? Hope you are all doing well. For those of you who may not know, I am Pilkey, and I do software development here on Twitch, and also out in the rest of the world, but primarily here on Twitch. One second. Something. Okay, good. And I need to check some other things. Okay, good. So, tonight, we are going to be doing some work on this here overlay. Yeah. We're going to be playing around with some stuff. I've just bought my first ever asset off the Unity Asset Store. So, we may have a play around with that. But I also want to get our bug throwing working because I have been doing some work, and at the moment I am not controlled by the physics engine. Physics has no power over me. Unfortunately, on this here spaceship we obey the laws of physics, so that has to change. So I've been working on a version of myself that actually works with the physics engine, which wasn't that difficult in the end, and it was kind of helped by, Doig. And if you don't know who Doig is, check out the Doig Swift channel on Twitch. But we are going to be playing around with getting our bugs, rather than becoming just flat frisbees, they're going to turn into little balls. The balls will be able to hit me. The balls should come in at different sizes. I want different colours, and I want to try and get them to have some bounce to them. So that's what we're going to do tonight. And then what we may do is play around. You follow me over here. Oh. Okay. What? What? That's not meant to happen. That is not planned. I did open OBS and it had messed up which screen it was capturing. But, let me just put the secret screen up and I will try something. Though I do realise that the secret screen means that I cannot see what is going on. So let me try. Nope. Okay. So not only have I lost the properties on it, I have lost the filter. So if I set that to enter. Okay, but why is that not capturing my screen? Oh! Oh! What is that one? That is the one that's messed up. Okay. Okay. I set that there. And press OK and display that. Okay. So that is wrong. Scale that down. So the overlay stream begins with, well, fixing the overlay. I have no idea why. I mean, I've had some weirdness go on with the monitors because I had Unity crash on me. Well, crash my computer last night. Okay, so that's working. So then what we want to do here is on the filters, move the chroma key. Yes. Right, so that is showing that, but that is because that is showing that screen. So this capture was correct in, if I go to properties, and that it should have been on my main display. And then I can go to properties. Oh yeah, if I go to properties, transform. Edit transform. That should be a 0. And then that should go like that, so that when I zoom in, you can see that. Okay, we are working again. So yes, this here is what I have got, which is Stream Deck integration. So what I have been doing for Stream Deck is I have a set of actions where what it will do is it will go and effectively it will bring the overlay to the front and then perform some keyboard shortcuts. What this is meant to do is it should allow me to create dedicated Stream Deck buttons that can be updated from the game that will do stuff, I'm hoping, even when the overlay is not in the foreground. And this can work both for customizing Unity but also build projects, which will be great for the overlay. So what this allows me to do is customize a lot more stuff. It gives me a bit more flexibility because I don't need to bring stuff to the front. I mean, one idea that I had is when I do my secrets like this, that currently shows up over the whole thing. Now the reason I want to do the secrets is because I don't want to show what is on my screen, like so. But there's no reason that I need to hide everything. So why could I not have the button just hide the screen and leave me about? It could be a button that just turns on and off the screen or something like that. So it just gives me controls and lets me do a lot more controls on the Stream Deck, leaving the all of this to have to deal with me deal with the bot. It also means that I don't have to build this UI system in, because I can just have a set of Stream Deck actions. My Stream Deck becomes the UI. So that is going to give me a lot of potential. So we will give this a go later and see what it is like. But first, we want to play around with our bugs. So have our bug over here. So how is everyone today? How are you doing, Kieran? Right, so what I think I want to do here is I'm going to make... Don't know whether I want to do an icosphere or a... two subdivisions, that's 57 vertices. Kind of a lot. Doing alright, just finished playing Stray with the housemate, now doing some UVing for Exterminator. Yeah, I've started Stray. I've not got massively far into it. I've only played like an hour or so. So we'll see like how that goes. But yeah, and UVing for the Exterminator. UVing's always a fun time. Right, what is this material? Doesn't seem to have anything, so let's just bring the alpha down. And alpha blend. Yeah, I am not doing too bad. I'm mostly spent today spent today relaxing and just doing some work, like contract work stuff, so nothing too strenuous, though I did go for a walk and realised how out of shape I have become since I started, well, since I've not been exercising as much. Look, I don't like that. But if I go to 2 subdivisions, that looks a lot better. But if there's going to be a lot of these around, 7 vertices, that's a triangle. Let's see what a UV sphere, 0.16. I could probably get away. Oh, don't. Oh. Ah! Ash sphere. Right, there we go. So we can have 6. Hey Buffer, it's not going too badly. We're currently getting some overlay work done. Right, let's see what these are. So if I select that, that is 60 tries, that is 80. So that is going to, if we stick both of these with the material, want the material to have an alpha and the blend mode to be alpha blend. So how are things going with you, Buffer? Just working on these bug balls that we're going to have bouncing around. Because here I'm going to bring the alpha right down. I want the roughness right down because I want it to look like these are embedded in. Alright, so 80... 42 vertices, 80 triangle. 32 vertices, 60 triangle. You're fine, that's good to hear. Are you up to much this evening? Have you been up to much during the day? You know what? The problem with this is that probably, like, for this to look as I want, we need to squish it in the Z. Because we want, like, if I undo that, what we need is, see, that looks a bit too much. So if I and that sort of looks okay. Because the thing is, there could be a lot of these thrown in. Though the thing is, they can be cleaned up. And I do have a fairly good computer, so it shouldn't cause that much of an issue. But it's just a thing of, if this is 60 and that is 80, then basically 3 of these equals 4 of these. So you can literally have 33% more stuff for the same performance. But that looks way better. Well, let's go for the looks way better for now. We won't do premature optimization. What we will do is I want to scale this down. We get to roughly that. I think that looks okay. So if we save this, go back to Unity, then go to our book variant, and our book variant is that, and I've already added a sphere collider. If I drag one of these out, so I think for the radius I did 3, no, 0.4. That looks about good. Okay, so if I select the book variant, and on here we're going to change this to 0.14. We have all of our stuff there. So I can delete this. And if I play up here, bring the sidebar up. Up here, you can see me, and I am controlled by the physics engine. So what that means is if I come up close, and I do this, they go straight through. No. No, they don't. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I think that may be a speed thing, but you can see that they are hitting me, and you can see that they are rolling. So... what we can do is on throw object, let's reduce the force to 10. There we go. I'm getting slowed there, but that... How many can we go for? Doesn't seem to affect frame rates that much. I mean, frame times are a little all over the place, but what, 80,000? Well, I think at this point we're limited more by the fact that we're running in Unity. Let's get up to 100,000 verts. There we go. And we're still getting like fairly good frame rates. So a little bit sluggish moving through here in the corner, but there, I've cleaned myself a little path. I'd say that is fairly good. Yeah, so that is a lot of bugs. I need to be able to move through them better. So, what we can do is we'll go to the Pokebot. Let's reduce the angular drag. Okay, that's... Oh, I wanted to turn interpolate off. If mass as I can. So I want mass. When I'm moving, I want my mass to be bigger. Or potentially, I would like my the bugs to be lighter, which is another thing that we can do. So yeah, let's, before we do this, let's go and have a look at all the bugs in here. So you can see how many bugs we have. Don't know why I am rotating. I should not. So yeah, that seems to be a weird bug in thing. I'm going to just set this to freeze rotation because I don't particularly want the physics engine to handle rotation per se, just position. So let's have another go at this. And I realised I didn't lock my thing, so I now need to find where on earth I have gone. I may have fallen off the map in the main overlay. Okay. Oh well. There is a version of me up here in the corner, so I still live on. And there's also a version of me over there, interestingly enough. Anyway, let's get rid of these bugs. Test that that works. I can't remember what hotkey I set up for it. Bug. Clear bugs. Alt Control. There we go. Yes, frame rates don't seem to be that different. Okay. So, what are we going to do now? Let's unpause that. And what we want to do is make sure interpolate is off there. I'm going to take the angular drag down to 0. Ease rotation there. And then for our bug variant, let's reduce that to 1. That probably won't move me as much, but what we're probably going to do is have the mass change depending on the size. So, what I want to do is we've got our scale. So I'm probably going to so there are two ways that we can customize this. We can customize the color because I've got red, green and blue bugs. So we can throw different colors of bug in. There's also the size. Now the question is, what do I have for what do I, because I want one of them to be based on like member levels, so like VIPs and subscribers and so on. Like followers will get, well, anyone who's not following will get a small, like the smallest bug size. Potential, or they'll get one type. If you're following, you get another, and if you're subscribed, you'll get another. So we could do red, green, and blue, or we could have the different sizes, and it just throws red, green, and blue for everyone. It's just the higher up you go, the bigger the bugs that you throw in. I'm inclined to go for the bug size because that is a bit easier to see. Because what we could have, I come over here, we can have a bug variant there, a bug variant there, and a bug variant there. And we could have this. Maybe something like that. So, what I should be able to do if I play is if I... Oop, they're going flying off. Flying off into oblivion. Oh, because I need to reduce the force because I've reduced, yeah. Let's set the force to 2. There we go. So we can have some like that. Then we could have, if I did 2, 2, 2. And those. And do we want, we can either go 333 for subscribe. Oh yeah, I think that's a good size for anyone who subscribes throwing something in. So we'll just do 1, 2, 3. So not following, following, subscribed. And then we'll just do red, green and blue. In fact, I may do subscribed and VIP for these, and like mods and basically anyone who has a special status. So yeah, I've just realised the time and I was meant to do something. So if you give me 2 seconds, I will be right back, and then we'll try and get the colours implemented first, because that's something that is entirely local, and then we'll hook it up to the Twitch API to test things. So, I will see you all in a few secs. Okay, I am back. So, I have the bug variant. Root is in here. Right, so first thing I'm going to do is we have, this is glass, and then this is bug. So if I save that, right, bug glass. Let's just make sure that that does. Choose that. So Right, so if I go into here, bug, that's from there. There. And then we have Redbug. So what I can do is open up Photoshop and create green and blue. Now what I do is string exported emote. No, I don't want to do exported emotes. There we are. Twitch emote. So we've got the green. Survive, reveal, and finder. Duplicate and duplicate. I'm going to have bug, blue bug. Open them in Photoshops. Right, so green bug. Oh. Okay. That's also... Yeah, that's also the wrong... There, so let's open the red bug as well. I thought they are saved as JPEGs. I thought I had saved them as PNG. Oh well. I'll clean this up and we will resave them as PNGs. Or had I saved them... Had I saved it elsewhere as a... No. Okay. So, we want that colour. And I want... Right, delete. Yeah, the sizing on this is all over the place. These should be in a grid. Okay, let's... how big a grid do we want? 6 by 6. Nope. 7 to 8. 42.6 pixels. Okay, because that sort of divides by 2. So... guide layout. Two 42. We're going to do it in... Actually, that... Charlie, what else would we do? What was it? Oh. Two, 5, 6 divided by 6 is 42 times 6. Yeah, so 2.0 above and below. Okay. So let's... Basically, we're going to just recreate this. So we'll set that fairly transparent. And now create a new... Those, create a layer. Not letting... Oh, because I've... Okay. So we have our background there. So what we want to do with this is turn off snapping, just so that we can vaguely align this, because we're going to center it after. Right, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then we have 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this here is our center. So we'll just let's throw a thing there just so that we know where the center is. So we want to outline our black parts. So we'll this, in fact, pen. It's going to be this way. So that wants to be probably 3. Like that. In fact, just do this once and then mirror it. Got to hold shift before you do that. Okay. Hey. This is the problem. I've got used to both Blender and Unity, and so it's completely messed up my Photoshop navigation skills. Ever so slightly shorter body and legs, but it should fit in okay. And then what we're going to do is select that side, and then where are we? Flip horizontal. like that. And when we hide, that looks okay. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if we move this down, that's going to be 6, 9, 7, and 8. Actually, take this bit down. Oh. Good second of fumbling between Blender and Unreal sometimes. Yeah, Blender and Blender and Unity is a bit different. I have actually changed it so that in Unity G, R and S are move, rotate and scale, because otherwise in Unity these are all QWERTY, so you end up with I think grab was Q, no, the view was tool, then it was W for move, E for rotate, R for scale. Why they couldn't have just swapped those around, I don't know. And then rect and transform. Yeah, so the rect tool was T and transform was Y. So why they couldn't have swapped those around as well either. But I've just changed it to like G, R and S so that at least those are the same. I haven't been able to get it where actually moving around, because in Blender middle click and drag is rotate, but middle click and drag is move, and move is what is it? It's I can't remember what I've set move to because I've used a different hotkey. I've got Option Tab set up for that, and then Option Shift Tab is rotate as well. But when my hand gets a bit yeah, it's Shift middle click, whereas Shift just speeds it up, so you have to Alt and mouse to actually rotate. Dragon Dust, welcome in. How are you doing this evening? How was the stream? My bot, unfortunately, is not currently visible on stream at the moment because I forgot to lock it in place and it has fallen into the void. But I will be restarting soon because we are in the process of building some cool stuff. So, how was your stream? What did you get up to? Anything fun and interesting? Did not know that you could click and drag to show and hide multiple layers at once in Photoshop. Good, not that long. You have to get back into streaming and you worked on your app for a bit. Yeah, it's... I can see how getting back into streaming can be a bit tough if you haven't done it for a while. I mean, I'm getting... Not quite the same thing, but I've been getting back into exercising because for the past month or so, between initially I went on holiday, then I got ill, then I had some stuff keeping me busy, then the weather was either too stormy or too hot, and between all those things I basically got to a point where I wasn't exercising as much and wasn't eating as healthily. And I've started getting back into doing the exercising, which is literally just like a 20-30 minute power walk up and down some steep hills. Oh, that is exhausting when you haven't got into it. So yeah, many things are like that, and when you need to get back in and ease into stuff and things mess up and don't go right, and so yeah, not quite the same as streaming, but I mean, hopefully it's going well getting back into it. So what did you get do on your app? In fact, let's give you a shout out. What sort of stuff did you work on your app? And hey, Snowtwig, it is going well. We are currently, well, creating bugs. Right, so I can hide my guides, and what I want to do is don't save that, don't save that. We are going to color overlay that on this layer. Okay, well I'll have to do the red. So hide that, then color overlay. I think let's just duplicate this and red, and then Aussie blue. Oh, where's Dragon Dust? Thanks for the raid, it's much appreciated. Oh. Right, I do that. Layer. Layer. Alright, so that's blue. I want this to be red. Okay, so I am going to here's the green on outside. Yes, this is the spaceship. Have you seen the spaceship yet? Why on earth? Right. That way. Right. No idea why this has happened. It hasn't changed much this week, at least. I've changed a little bit about how my character controls, but that's mostly so that it works with the physics engine now. And I am currently working on these improvements to the bugs, where the bugs are going to be different colours and different sizes, and in balls that will roll around and hopefully bounce. Okay, so we're going to, that's all clear, so we're going to do that. Select green. and fill. Okay. And then the blue, we're going to got the colour, delete everything, and fill. And then if I bring this back, okay, so first thing I want to do is save this out as Redbug PNG. And we are going to Unity set model miscellaneous and create redbug.png. At the moment you only have a minimalistic scene setup, so maybe you'll work on it a bit more. Yeah, I mean, you don't need to go quite as advanced as me, but even something simple, I used to use ViadoTube, which, I mean, if I bring up ViadoTube, that is currently beach bowling. Ah, there we go. So yeah, this is ViadoTube, where it would that hooked. Right, so I do that to the microphone. Then you can see how it flashes. So this is what I had before, and it's a very simple app. You just throw some stuff in. So if you wanted that sort of thing where you had a character, like privacy on those parts of the screen. Yeah, I mean, I just have at the moment this that slides up, but I did mention that earlier in the stream, one thing I may do is just have it. So I mean, I have when the controller connects. So I have a screen here in the spaceship, and what I'm thinking is, what I can have is I've just downloaded an asset that will allow me to basically directly hook the Stream Deck into the overlay I'm building in Unity. So I'll be able to just have the blur thing happen actually on the screen in Unity rather than covering everything up. So my little bot will be able to run around in front of it. So that's what I am making. In fact, I will show you when I bring it back in. So we have our red book here. So what I'm going to do is tag that onto there. And what we are doing is building one of the redeems, which, now that I think about it, probably doesn't actually work on the actual stream, considering it's meant to fire at the Pokebot, and the Pokebot isn't there. But if you look in the top right, you can see we're blasting some beach balls. Well, some sort of bouncy balls that contain bugs. Oh yeah, it does work in Unity, so you can redeem it to throw them, but what I am doing now is making it so that I can update. The balls are going to have different sizes depending on whether you are just watching, whether you're a follower, or whether you're like a subscriber or something. And they're also going to have different colours, which are just going to be randomly thrown out. Now, what I want to do is rename this to Redbug, and then I want to what else duplicate? That's it. Duplicate. Yeah, can do. So we're gonna have that, and then we're gonna have rename green bug. Well, green bug texture material. Dead bug material. Because in Unity it's a bit easier to swap the materials out than it is to swap the texture on the material. You have to get some food. You still on? Yeah, I'll probably be on for another hour or so, so hopefully see you. If not, thanks again for raiding, and hope you have a wonderful evening. Alright, so let's export our green bug. And then export blue bug. And then we're going to save this up. Yeah. And we're going to close that. Don't save that. And then Finder. I want to delete all of the JPEG ones because I don't want those cluttering things up anymore. And then for our green bug material, we're going to drag green bug onto there. And for our blue bug material, we're going to drag blue bug onto there. Okay. So, next up, if we stop that, throw object, source, so we want to create that, we have our force, we have the target, so I think what we want to do change that back. Also add that keyboard shortcut. File. Okay, and then rename. So that is set there. Duplicate line. Go back. Okay, there we go. So I want to go to row. Where's the R key not work? Okay. That is meant to be and Shift D. And that is meant to be... What on earth is going on here? Hey. I guess this is why Visual Studio on the Mac is a preview. Right. So while we are here, so we instantiate, add it to the thrown bugs so that we can reference it later. So what we are going to want to do is in which we have it's not track command, it's channel point. So what I probably want is rather than that boolean that's going to set the redemption, which is then going to pass stuff into that. Okay. So what we need here is we need enum bug size, and we're going to have small, medium, large. Row size, bug size. Switch size, case all, on object dot transform dot local scale equal vector 3 1. Medium and large. Scales are going 322 and 333. Also, random dot color that, and if index 1 0 else index 1 that I'm going to do RGB. So what we need... Oh, we could do B, G, and then it doesn't change it otherwise. So in awake, we want private material, blue bug, private material bug, and what we want is this dot bug dot blue bug. Unity, find an asset binary. Use as a class, I use found and access. Let's cross here. All assets on the resources.
Synthesis complete.
Let's do it this way. Public material blue bug, public material green bug. and we object dot run object facial component renderer document. Oh. Material equals this dot bluebug. Dot bug. Public enum, and then I want to go command kernel point manager. That must be bug. It's not small. Okay, so bug thrower. Line 28. That. Line 31. Uninvocable bits for you. Because this is not Swift. Oh, can we... Oh. Book size. Okay. Oh, this should hopefully load, build and run. That was delayed. Okay, well, first thing I've realized, I haven't set the blue bug material or the green bug material. Let's try that again. Let it load. And there's no renderer attached to bug variant clone game object. We're just trying to access it. We've instantiated it. Okay, so how... It doesn't have a renderer. Aha, because the renderer is on there. Okay. So we create the book, and then inside the book we want to get the let's rename it. Switch off Blender. Bug and ball. Save that. Right. So shown object dot get game object back across and look for game object. Transform.find. Okay. So bug transform equal drawn object dot transform dot find bug dot game object, and then we want to do game object get renderer object get renderer. So if I do that and that, and doesn't know render attach the through object game object. Oh yes, bug object, not game object. I do apologise, Unity, you were telling me the correct thing. That's a blue, green, a blue, 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 green, 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 blue, blue. So the reason we're not getting red is I'm assuming that needs to be 3 max exclusive. Okay. So if I stop, go, blue, red, green, blue, red. Hey, we're getting all sorts of colours coming out now. So what we now need to do is get this working with channel points. So I need Twitch lib. Need to look at pub sub, bunch of the points. Going to get models, responses, messages. Reward redeem. Going to give us a redemption, which is going to give us user, which is that is type channel point data. So looking here, time channel points data, and we've got redemption, redemption. So we get an ID, user, channel ID redeemed at. We get the reward, user input, and status. Reward cast is only image with enable poses in dark temp. Okay. I think what we need to do is find this channel points data. There's nothing there. Okay. So we can get the ID of the user who did this. Oh, I think I've gone off the edge of the screen. I don't have a wall at the back of Collider, so I think I've moved, like fallen off. So I'll restart in a little bit, because I'm going to actually rebuild. So you have to do on channel points reward redeemed. So it doesn't look like there's a way to get the level of the user. You got channel points data, which has nothing in, and then you get your reward redeemed. At the time it was done, you get redemption. And redemption, get the status, and you're going to get the reward that was redeemed. So is at the title there, but we can't see. So am I going to have to use the API to fetch the user? Because if I go back, because on the redemption, get the user, which is defined here, get the ID, login and display name. So yeah, I think we need to use the API Felix user so we can get the users. It uses as what do I need to do? Is it in channel? We can get channel information. I'll get channel information response. Information. No. Is it stream? Get stream. Get followed streams. Get stream. Not sure how you would do that then. Use it. So the Twitch API is what you can use to find out whether or not, well, you can use it to control various bits of Twitch. But what I'm wanting to do is when I get a channel point redeem via pub sub, I want to be able to find something out about the user. So, Twitch API, find status of user channel IID. I have no idea what. So you get a lot of channel points redemption, but I don't want that. So you can get information about you. To get information about a user, and I want to find out. Here we are, moderators. Get moderators, get VIPs, check user subscription. So a specific user is subscribed to a specific channel. Okay. Right, I'm going to go refill my drink. And when we get back, we will have a play with this because I may need to regenerate some tokens to gain access to this because I need that. And then I need to get VIPs and moderators. I mean, if there's... No, it's probably best when it comes in to check the subscription. You can't check if a user's following a channel, can you? Oh, get user follows. Get information on followers should be Twitch used. okay, so you can see 2 people following. Maybe I don't do the follow. Maybe I do it normal, subscribe, and like VIP and mods get a special one, like the extra large. Okay, right, well I will be right back in a few minutes once I get a fresh drink, and we'll give this a go. So see you in a few. Okay, I am back, and I have no idea why that has just happened. Curious. So, yeah, so we're going to be able to download a list of VIPs and mods. And we might as well do that when the stream launches and keep track of it, because that is not going to change very often. Actually testing that one is, yeah, and then testing subscribers. it will actually list me as a subscriber of my own channel. Okay. So we get the API there. What we do on the API, do that. Connect client. Probably get rid of those. Need that one, and need that. We have connect. So what we do, cached info, we can have a public list of strings, which is going to be VIP IDs, public list string mod ID, and be private. That's going to be get private stat, get private stat. And then we're going to have a private void. Oh yeah, string is lowercase. Which that and private void fetch initial info. Oh. That wants to be like so. Fantastic. John connect this dot fetch initial info, and what we want to do is this dot API dot helix dot this API.helix dot moderation dot get Alright. Just have a look here at the API, at Helix. Moderation. Bound event, bound user, get moderators async. Not a way to get the IP. Go to reference. Oh, it's in beta. It will have to be moderated then. Probably have not added that in yet. Okay, so we will probably have... Let's just do subs. Let's do the subs thing. So... if we go to Twitch Lib, we're going to go up, we're going to go to subscriptions. Check use subscription async. Broadcaster ID. Right. Mark API opens. What we're going to do is function, well, public void check if subscribed. Bring user ID. Ooh, actually, I suppose public list string bear. Do this because we don't care if when the stream is running is a user that has their subscription expired. We only want to check once. So if this dot subscriber ID dot contains user ID, return true. Return false. That means that away. So we check if subscribed, if the user contains that. Then otherwise what we want to do is this .api.helix subscriptions dot check user subscriptions async, and we're going to want do something like that. So paste that. It's going to do task, and it's actually going to be in here. API.helix.subscriptions.check user subscription. So the broadcast ID is the user ID of that. So I believe I have that in here. The client ID of the bot, the client secret bot. I have my OD. Probably wait. Oh, wait. JPI manager. There we are, channel ID. So check user subscription async. This dot channel ID. User ID. That. Then we wait. Then we're going to pass dot result, which should be a check user subscription response. And response dot data dot response dot Hey Mackie, how are you doing this evening? Alright, so we want a check user subscription response. So if we go in here, subscription, check user subscription response. And that's going to give us the subscription data. Okay. I am doing pretty great. I believe I've just found. So if I respond dot, oh, that's a fair point. What happens if someone is not subscribed? I would presume the data is nil. Helix. Let's bring this back over so you can see it. Subscription. Check user subscription async. Do that, pass the stuff in. Subscription. What does reference? Check user subscription. It would return an error. Pass dot. Okay. So Twitch get generic async. Happens if I go here. Let's see. client API example. Okay. So Twitch get generic sync. API.or. Oh, actually, can I go back into subscription? Find that in this repository. See what we can find. There's lots of places calling it, but where is it defined? Here we are, API base. We return a task T. So we get all that stuff. That's going to return rate limiter perform serialized object. Okay. Task start. So there's a result and there's an exception. Which I suppose we could potentially just return response is not equal to nil. Do I use 2 monitors when streaming? I actually use technically 4. So I have 3 monitors hooked up to my computer and then I have my iPad as well. So I have my main monitor which I share everything on. Then I have a monitor over to the right hand side which I throw secondary information on. So for example, I've got Safari and stuff over here, Blender's currently living over on this side, and I've got a bunch of other stuff. It also includes where the stream tasks that you can see over sort of over here, they appear there. Then I've got a vertical monitor. In fact, I can show you my setup here. So I've got my main monitor here that is what you're seeing. I've got a monitor here that is for secondary stuff, and I've got one here that I've got vertical, which when I'm streaming I have OBS up here, and then down here I have the actual overlay. So if I'm, like, you can see the cursor moving, my cursor is currently in the bottom of that monitor because it's appearing over it, whereas when you see it here it's because it's coming through OBS. And in terms of the fourth one, that is my iPad, because I have the stream manager up there, so I can see, for example, event stuff. Now I've got events in the chat and stuff up on in OBS, so technically I probably don't need the iPad as well. The iPad is also there because I can actually bring the iPad up and draw on the iPad and have that on stream, but it's usually 3 and then just the iPad's just an extra bit. Is that an ergonomic keyboard? It is. It is the Logitech Ergo K860, which I got a while ago. It has replaced my Microsoft Sculpt keyboard, and I am loving it so far. I actually have a review written up for it, which I need to get around to releasing. I'm going to hold off because I want to see whether they finally add full support to their hardware this month, to their software this month, because they're updating the software of Logitech, and the latest software does not support this keyboard, but the old software does not support the operating system I'm on. So that is a lot of fun. I've just realised that the muted icon's been up in the top right all this time. Cool setup. You envy multiple monitor users you stuck with one. I was on one monitor for a long time, and I use one monitor with multiple virtual desktops. So you can set up virtual desktops where you can basically slide monitors in. Like, you've got your screen for your windows, but you can slide additional ones in from the side. And I did that for a while, but then I got a second monitor, and it was a small one. And then going to 3 monitors was sort of something I hadn't planned. So one of my external monitor, well, one of the monitors to the side, the Dell ones, I got for my I think I got one for my Mac quite a while ago. I mean, I think one of these is like 7 years old now. The other one I ended up getting for my gaming PC initially, because my thought was, okay, well, if I get one for the gaming PC, then it's the exact same one, and I was thinking I will get a Mac Pro, and I will end up with just 2 monitors, and it will be these 2 monitors, and I will get a Mac Pro. This was back in 2019. And what I would then do is buy a proper gaming monitor for my gaming PC, like with high refresh rate and everything. Well, I bought the gaming monitor, and I was always going to buy the gaming monitor. The problem is the Mac Pro was naff. It was incredibly expensive for what you got, so I ended up getting another iMac. But I already had these displays, so I sort of stumbled into the 3 monitor setup simply because I had the iMac. And now once you've gone, like, the problem with monitors is you can move from fewer monitors to more monitors. It is very hard to go from more monitors back to fewer monitors. So once I'd lived the 3 monitor life, I realized, okay, 3 monitors is very useful to me. So yeah, I could not go back down to a single monitor now. I mean, the good thing is, because these are all external monitors now, and I'm using the Mac Studio, the monitors will last quite a while. Like I say, one of them I think is it's like 6 or 7 years old, I think, at this point, and it's still going really well. So monitors can last you a long time if you treat them well. Right, so hopefully that will work. And then you'll be able to check if subscribed in the bug thrower. No, not in the bug thrower. In channel point manager. Once throw a bug, and I want that to be a reward redemption. And that is to and this is going to be the redemption. And if that is not equal to null, then we will null it out there. Perform throw bug. And what I want to do is this dot API. This dot manager dot get check if subscribed. This wants throw bug dot board redemption dot ID. So if that is true, then do var bug size equal bug not small, otherwise bug size equal bug size not large. Now we can pass in bug size. Okay. Oh, that needs to be on the points, reward redeemed are dot reward redeemed, which is a reward reward oh, then it's going to have the redemption. Yeah, so it just wants to be a redemption. Okay. And once we're a bug dot user dot ID. Okay. That probably is a bad thing to do. We'll probably change that in a second. But I just want to know that should be not equal to null because again we're in sharp. Okay. Does not contain a definition of fetching. Oh. Get rid of that. UV is getting a 9 time for Stellaris. Stellaris is always a good call. Hopefully. Okay. So, if I do that, and then I do that, your request is blocked due to bad credentials. Ooh. That was calling that far too often. So yeah, we definitely don't want to do that in there. So what we are going to do is change that. Teleport manager. So we want to do this in here. And have a size. And we're going to make this a throw bug. And then we're just going to because that is this dot throw bug dot okay, and then here what we want throw bug. Oh, that's it. Used a struct in C sharp. C sharp. Right, so how do you... Okay, so we can do throw bug equal new throw bug. Then we can do throw bug dot size equal small. Otherwise, throw bug dot size large, and that's going to throw bug. And we're going to do redemption.user.id if you've subscribed. Okay, so we want to add some additional bits and bobs. So what I'm going to do is we need to change the access token. Now I believe in order to do that, give me 1 second. I just need to hide that so that I can bring that up. Right, overview, authentication. Just getting an auth token. Examples of 3 flows. Authorization code. I want to do this, and I want to paste here. I have to do this off screen, unfortunately, because I need to get a bunch of information. That you are not allowed to see. there. And so channel manage. Like I can do this bit on here. So we've got channel manage, and I want manage redemption, channel read redemption plus chat percent 3a edit plus chat percent 3a, and percent 3a is just the code for semicolon, sorry, a colon, read plus, right, so what other stuff do I want from over here? User read subscription. So plus user percent 3a read percent 3a subscription. And what I'm going to do is go up to the reference, and we're going to figure out what we need. So bit leaderboards, don't care. Queue remotes, don't care. Attention transactions, don't care. Channel information. What? Right, these. Channel information gives us back the game ID, title of the stream delay in seconds. I don't think that is that useful to us. Channel points, create custom rewards. So I've already got that. Update custom rewards is manage redemption. Get channel emotes. That doesn't require any sort of user application of token, but it doesn't seem to be any issue there. Channel chat badges, again, don't need to have a certain thing. So clips, okay. Entitlements, don't care about. Extensions, don't care about. Don't like games, don't care about goals. Hype train events. Well, that's something that, you know what, I'll throw it in now. We might as well, all the stuff that we could potentially do, it's very, very unlikely we'll get anything even resembling a hype train anytime in the near future. But if we ever get to the point that such a thing is possible, we can do some cool stuff with it. Check out some mod status, don't care about. Don't care about. Get banned users, so that stuff don't care about. Block terms and stuff don't care about. Delete chat messages, don't care about. Get moderators, we do. Add channel moderator, remove, don't care about. Get VIPs, we do. Create and end polls, don't, but get polls could be useful. Predictions, we don't care. Starter raid. Don't need that. So channel read polls. Channel sensory A, then VA polls. And channel read VIPs. And I'm going to assume it's channel moderation. Schedule don't care, search don't care, music don't care, get stream key, no. Get streams, get follow streams, stream marker, nope. Check user subscription. So we are going to add user %3A, read %A, subscription. Tags. Don't care about teams, don't care about users. Information about one or more specified Twitch users. Potentially yes. Because that will be useful when a raid happens, because we will be able to get like their profile image and stuff like that. Follows potentially. So user read now. Oh, that's only to get the email. Well, we don't care about the email. We only care about the profile pictures and broadcaster type and stuff. Get user follow. That doesn't require anything. Okay, so if I bring this over here, I need my client ID. That's going to go in there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide things. So I need to do a few things. I need to make absolutely sure that none of you see them. So if I do that, authorize that to do all of this, that connect server there. Then I want to do that. Get rid of that. For example, so the 3 floors, you do that. If consented, the address bar will give you that, and then open the terminal. And I curl to that, contact that, needs client ID, client secret, code, grant type, direction, and the code is that. So if I open there, delete this so that I can bring the screen back. Okay, and then I need to go into application support, Gaming stream overlay. Right, and then I need to update account access token and the account fish token. So the access token is that bunch of numbers, and fish token is that bunch of numbers. So then if I go in here, I can delete that, and then so all compilers must be fixed. So that contains definition size and access size. Heaven. Okay, well, I think we're safe now to bring this back. So, C# optional. Oh. Value. Okay, I think that works. Okay. All connected. A bug, redeem. Oh, a big bug got thrown. Okay, does someone else want to try throwing a bug and seeing if it is, like, what size comes in? Well, that I want. Thing is, response, if response actually we can do we don't want to check this every single time. Dictionary of string contains the user act and subscriber dot this and you're going to return dot subscriber dot user ID. I'm going to do this dot subscriber IDs user response, not even. Oh, there we go. Right. So hopefully, if actually, wait 1 second. So that should stop that. So I don't know if someone wants to throw some bugs, and we will see what size they come in at. You can do that by clicking on the Coppice coins in the bottom for the channel points, and then throw bug. And hopefully they're not coming in. They were doing. Okay, let me try just more. Okay, so that is not going through. Just try. Okay, so now it's working. So try throwing some bugs now. Okay. So something is breaking. When I do it, it works. But when you do it, it doesn't. If I do that, hey. It's not even throwing the bug. Debug.log received response ask.result exception ask. exception. Okay. So if I stop and start, and then I will throw a bug. Bug. Okay, so I got response but no exception. Now, Kieran, do you want to throw, and we'll see what we get here. Get nothing. Absolutely nothing. Bug not one. Error. Hey. Okay, Kieran, do you want to try now and see if it throws an error? There we go. Okay. Figured it out. Is subscribe equals false. Task wait, and then we're going to do is subscribed equals true here. Not going to do anything. Well, we can just make double sure that it's false. We don't care about the response here. Are they subscribed? We're going to then is subscribed and is subscribed. So I can start that. I can throw something. Come through, and then you should be able to throw something, and it should hopefully come through. There we go, and it is smaller. Yes, it worked. It works. We can detect whether someone's subscribed. It also caches it for as long as thing is running, so that if people throw lots of these, it will determine that you are not subscribed and it won't have to check again. And the only downside is if someone subscribes midway through, it won't do it, but when we actually handle stuff to like show stuff on stream when someone subscribes, we can update that in the cached version. So we have it there. So what I am going to do is I am going to save and then build settings. I am going to have to quit the overlay here. This place. Building. And when I open the stream overlay, I choose the microphone, yes. Uses the microphone, And then it's in the main overlay. Woohoo! Whoa! It works! It works! And I can interact with them. Now they're not as bouncy as I would like, but I think what we're going to have to do there is change them so that if they collide with something, it imparts like they can bounce off. I mean, I probably have to Google and work out what to do, because it just sort of bounce and then just hit the ground, and we need them like they bounce off something with some fraction. When they bounce off another collider, they basically go out in the opposite angle that they came in, and they sort of just have some degree of the momentum that they had. So they'd, like, if they hit this wall at the angle that I'm looking at it, they'd bounce sort of up at the opposite angle and maybe have like 90% of their thing, and it would just like, then they'd have 90% and 90% and 90% until it gets below a certain point, at which point they stop moving completely. So it sort of imparts a different velocity on them. So, but I mean, that is something that we can potentially add later, because there are other things I want to do, such as, well, improve my face and let you change my face. So we'll probably work on that next time we start doing stuff on stream. But until then, I think what we're going to do is call that a night, because I've gone about an hour later than I was expecting to. But yeah, we'll call that a night, and I want to thank you all for coming. Thank you again to Dragon Dust for raiding. I hope you all had a wonderful time on the stream, even though my bot had vanished and there was a lot of me trying to work stuff out. But yeah, we now have bugs that work properly and change depending on who you are and what you do. So, thank you all for coming. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, wonderful rest of your week. I will be streaming again at 1 PM on Saturday. And until then, as always, happy coding.